Great awakening. Grand divine rising. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come as you are. Beautiful you are, as you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. Come as you are. Be who you are. Enjoy what you are in every given moment. You get to be whatever you think yourself to be, which is great because it is it's a okay. It's early. But whatever. Welcome. If this is your first time here, hi. If this is you coming back, oh hello. Either way, I feel this is kind of like a random. I wasn't planning on recording, but I felt divinely inspired because I came across a video on Bossy Brujas YouTube channel, and the video's name is The Strangest Secret, and it alchemized wonderfully well with what I be talking about in my babbles. So if you are evolutionary, then chances are, however you vibe with me or whatever, you get the babbles when you actually pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of mana in there, and it comes so potently, poetically, streamlined, channeled, you see. It's this flowgasmic, that grows, that I allow into I am a conduit for heightened channeling. I receive, I allow, express, right? And it was nice to find the alignment of alchemy within this video that inspires me. It's like appreciating, because I appreciate. Yeah. Feeling inspired, being inspired by others too, not just of myself. A lot of lost souls that are challenged would be nice. I'm being mindful of my communications because I don't want to seem so insensitive or judgmental, right? When I express my colorful ways of expressing certain humanized opinions, of perceptions, of vocabularies that I can use to describe anything, anyone. And so I'm being mindful because I have learned over time that, because I'm a jokester by nature and I'm very sarcastic, the human vessel that is I, and witty, and I have a dark, twisted sense of humor at times. And it may, for many, be inappropriate or whatever, and, shocking too, because, whatever the case may be, but sinister in that kind of way. I used to write I used to write. I write. I don't used to write. I write. I write a script, a channel. I am tapped in, turned on, tuned in every kind of dynamic way, right? That is in alignment with my evolution, right? And so, anyways, I appreciate inspiration. A lot of people that can't, and they like hate on people or be envious and jealous and can't really be happy for you, they're not happy for themselves, or you know that saying, like I learned that saying hard on in my life experience, where it's like people, you know, even with the people, yeah, they may want you to do good, but they don't want you to be doing better than them. And the moment that they think that you're doing better than them in whatever degree, now this goes into degrees of pockets, because you could be happy in love and someone's not, and hate on you for that. But you know, be happy for you with your career, your success, your money, because they too, career, success, money, all right, you know. Or, you know, so it's like in compartments. It's like, whoa, side-eye, here we go, all the time, like having to dodge bullets, ricocheting, because whoa, I triggered, you're unhappy. And so in that, you feel some type of way, right? And for me, it doesn't work that way. And it never has. And it's not that I'm bragging, and it's not that, but whatever, like, it's a more peaceful ride I can see, because I can see the bitter tainted seeds of, even when growing up, right? And this is the pridefulness in me, and I don't consider that bad. It was my ego helping me cope, right? Where I had my peers who had more than me, at least in my view. You understand this perception, right? Our thoughts, our mindsets, our however we are conditioned into our environment. We each are the individual seed that brings this unique blueprint. You're unique. There's no other thumbprint like you, right? You're a tree of life, and you are, no matter what, percolating something. Right? So, like, I use those moments of motivation and inspiration when I see something that I want or something like that. Never to never. I can't even recall a time I did it on accident, where someone has something that I would want, or like, I don't even think like that. So let's get that out of the way, right? So like, how? Like, and I really try, and I'm like, wait, maybe there was a time. Maybe let's go travel. Let's go travel the occasion. Let me go down in my timeline in this 3D life, okay? Because I'm focused on my now, right? Even though we tap in and we receive messages and downloads and channelings and mediumships and all this kind of stuff, and you see, you speak, and you receive, and you call it whatever, right? Whatever, right? You see. What was I saying? Hey, thank you, Sally. Okay, what did I say? So, you don't know, yeah, don't know how real that is in my life. I have been scolded because I'll be mid-story, and mid-story, like, it's like a cliffhanger, and I'm like, I don't even know what I was saying. And people be like, what? Let it go, guys. It'll come up. And I just, whatever, you know, and ooh, and you know, and think about that, you know, from the external world, they're like, wow, you be trippy, you be a space cadet, you be like aerial, like, you know, and we take all these things in too, you know what I mean? Right, so we need to like reevaluate our viewpoint to certain things and behaviors that we have exhibited throughout our span of this life to others that were not well received and internally imprinted, commingled with our own personalization of feelings and lack thereof of even self-understanding to your heightened sensitivities and gifts, right? Things we say to ourselves. Brings me back to this video, right? Which is, go watch it. I found it on her page, so I don't know where she got it from. So the best place to go would be Bossy Brujas channel thingy majiggy. I said the name before, right? But it sounds so. That's what I was saying in another video too. I was like, yeah, that most of this is all unscripted. It is all unscripted. And I usually just go in, hit record, and whatever happens, happens, right? But and then I have these moments, and you'll know when they are, because I come in with notes. I come in with notes. So, the name of the video on her page is The Strangest Secret. Okay? Yeah. So, listen to it for yourself. Receive it for yourself in the way that it's going to be received for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it was great alignment and alchemy because it goes with the things I speak on an evolutionary scale of upliftment that is designed to help one alchemize their own alignment. And it's going to be in the pockets of the poetry that is the mana, that is the seed. Because as we know, with any kind of leveling of evolution, there has to be a degree of skills being finer tuned into the strengthening of this other worldly aspect to ourselves that we are awakening to. Right? Because it's in aspects of ourselves that require the external part of ourselves to go internal while we're operating on an external environment. So it's like extra work, right? Being a multidimensional being, right? I think about that. My leveling of discomfort to start my YouTube channel because I feel everything. And if we get to the root of that, how uncomfortable am I with myself that should bother me? So let me get to my truths. But that, you know, you don't see that evolution in one night, not in this humanoid zoid. You be hard-headed. Right? You be hard-headed. Like, all right, I gotta learn this 10 times. Okay. Is the Cardi B song, knock me down 9 and be up, get up 10? I don't even know right now. So, anyway, so this video is dope. It is very insightful, and it brings up key components into alchemy. That's a fucking great thing. To know evolution is to understand that this too shall pass. Simplified as I can make it right this moment. So there is never no need to feel the stuck you might actually be experiencing or cycling or having to learn from. You learn, you earn. Right? So these pockets of mana that I poetically deliver requires you to show up. Listen. Activate. Appreciate. Receive. Get along. Get along. No attachment. You do with what you receive, however you do it with whatever you receive. They used to call me Bossy when I was younger because of my enthusiasm into regards to the leveling of intellectualism, of spiritualism that I was highly activated on. I was excited. And nobody was as excited as I was. And that could be discouraging. And that's a conditioning too. Right? So what do we desire to inspire from ourselves? How clear are we with our goal in our own evolutionary department? And how superficial is your desire? And where does it come from? Let's go even deeper than that. And are you allowing for what you desire to come into fruition without being the self-saboteur that fucks it up every single time or makes it longer and a more like climb this mountain with these spiked heels on and not take them off because we're taking selfies. I'm so cute as I climb. I had an image to uphold. You cannot see me a mess. Welcome. The journey even into self-love for me started superficially. I wanted to address my inability or desire or want to even look at myself. You know? And so it started with purging makeup. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about makeups and stuff like that, and I'm gonna just like, I don't want to no more. Get to my notes. That's why I'm gonna go to my notes. Okay, hello. Right. I have heavy Sagittarius in my chart, and in Western astrology, it's already Sag season. In Vedic astrology, it's still Scorpionic season. So this is why I call myself Lavas, right? I get it so much better now. The infusion of the very dominating features into my whole astrological and just makeup. But anyway, right? So I want my freedom and comfortability to be the energy of energy expressed and released out into the etheric field of life that is evolutionary and infinite, and allow it to spread like a flower fire. Wow. Oh my. Spread like a wildfire and let it percolate, build the traction it needs to allow every other energy to mix, commingle beautifully, harmoniously, infusing deep the confidence we seek and the self-love that we crave and that we need and that we want to evolutionize that even more so in the development of our own evolution wherever we are. And may it be such a beautiful upliftment to everyone that engages, right? So beautiful. Not what I want. I think that sounds good because my juice is flowing, right? So which brings me back to just even the beautiful reminders in that the Strangest Secret on Bossy Brujas thingamajiggy. Oh my god. So yeah, like, you know, this is where, you know, my I have to make a note. Where I don't know, I just find, you know, but people, I don't know terminologies and stuff like that. I don't like labels. I don't like things like that. So like I'm not hip in that sense of knowing what everything means when people speak it. Like you'll learn it in person when you meet me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know. And I'm like, because people assume always that, even because I'm on social media and stuff like that, that means that I'm hip to what's going on out there in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Because people assume you watch TV, or that you watch the news, or you hear the news, or, you know, things like that. And, you know, there is to not be that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things I don't know, right? So it's learned when people text me, they're like, oh my god, you really know? I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know, even like labels, brands, and all, they'd be like, oh, that's a name, and I'm like, okay. or where they'd be like, oh, that's this person, and, you know, unless I have seen you, like, you know, or know of, and things like that, like, I really don't know. So I don't care. What's the point of all that? Really, what was the point of all of that? A lot of stuff. What was the point of that? But yeah, no, so jeez. So it's just interesting. Let me recalibrate. Let me regroup. Let me think about what I'm gonna say. What was I in the middle of doing in that kind of way? Because I babble in that kind of way. Whatever. It's evolutionary. Okay? Oh my goodness. Alright, so whatever. Labels, brands, things, names. I don't like. Oh, yeah, right. That's what I was gonna say. So, you know, what? Whatever. So, anyways, like, you know, a lot of the younger generation, right, the more youthful generations, they are a lot raised on much more electronics and technology, having access to that than I did back in the day. Where I was a little girl. Okay. You're not a little girl. Got it. Okay. Like my daughter's generation, like, you know, she's in her 20s, right? So stuff, like, or just, I don't get it. Like, you know, that's why I say, for me, the applications and the apps that I use, they have to be really simple. That even a caveman can do it. That's always my joke. Like, you know, and if it's too complex, it just frustrates me, and I'm not interested. And so I don't want it. I don't care who likes it. I don't care what, like, you know. So it took me a while to even just get into TikTok, because all I knew how to do is just record. And then do little tiny effects with the recording, and that's it. No, like, I didn't know how to use it. And so it was too much, like, you know, and so I didn't gravitate towards it fast. And then finally, when the voiceover lip syncing thing finally stuck, please understand that my daughter showed me that like 10 times. And she showed it to me, and then finally, because I was excited to do it now, because I saw all these lip overs, those voiceovers, those lip thingies, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Like, I'm like, I want to do that. I'm gonna be good at this. Like, I can do this. So I asked her one last time. I said, okay, I know, because she gets annoyed with me, and she's like because it's like pointless sometimes, like, because it's like I don't listen or something. That's it. I don't know. Or I listen, I think I get it, and then maybe it's because I'm a lefty. I say this is a right-handed society, and you know, my thumb is left-handedness. So I don't know. But anyway, so but I was determined, right? And there's a will, there's a way. Is a quote I'm quoted having, like, I used to be obsessed with quotes growing up, and so I used to quote everybody. And that was my philosophies. We were like, so they'll be in the middle of a conversation, and I'll come out with a quote. That was my input. Which was wise, because it fit the storyline that had both parties or people or whatever. Like, this bitch did not come out with a quote. So I had like this like obsession with quotes, and also like the thesaurus. Which explains my poetry prose too, evolving over time, you know, because part of my nervous system was not allowing free flow linguistically. It was always on pen and paper, you see. And so the throat chakra blockage for me, and the shyness, and the not feeling good enough, you know, or being nervous, you see, the seeds we sow, or the empath nature, the intuitiveness too that we receive, or this conditioning of not feeling good enough, or brave enough, you know, to liberate yourself, to just be whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, right? If you're here, you are revolutionary, because you are the energy of something unique that the world needs. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So part of my journey as a lifetime transcendentalist, I like to say that word because it kind of puts everything into its pocket. Like, although I don't like labels and names and all this kind of stuff, because it's more than that. We are more than that. We are more than even the labels and names we come up with. We are infinite structures, right? On a multidimensional plane of existence. Therefore, there is no pocket that you will ever fit into, because you are expansive, you are infinite, you are cosmic, right? In that kind of way. But yeah. Yeah. so part of my journey has been this leveling of research, documentation, evolutionary, revolutionary, resolution, solution, solutionist. I'm a solutionist. Soul. Got a lot of soul. Right? We find the resolution. The word itself has solution in it. The word itself broken down. Oh, I'm also an etymology whore. I have been such a word whore for such a long time, and you know, my obsession with the alchemy of speaking only that in which you desire to really inspire into existence. I've been practicing this shit for over fucking 30 years. Legit. Spirit speaks. And I wanted to. And it was never easy. I say now it's so much easier because of the fluidity that I am now beginning to recognize in my channeling flow of natural linguistics that goes of that I only speak it, that of which I sow it. You understand, overstand. That came with years of high command, of aligning each part of our structure of language to match that on which we need to speak it, so that it may be it, to transform it, whatever needs transforming, right? And until you can get into that space of being able to communicate, to intellectualize, to linguistically say in a perfect alchemy kind of way, then you need to STF you up in every kind of way until you can master the linguistic game of what you gotta say. And in that practice in itself, on the 3D plane of existence, okay, it will readjust your mentalisms. Oh yeah, because what are you going to unleash until you get the linguistic speech correct for yourself? You need to speak it, so speak it right. Speak it in your truth. So you got to get to that part first, the truth. What is the purpose? What is the function? What is the why? What is your delivery? What is your energy? What is your frequency? What is your vibration? Is this to build or is this to destroy? Is this to heal or is this to kill? You know, and so anyways, yeah, that's a lot of things. So I started coaching in junior high school. For real. Because I had started seeing the value of self-hypnosis. See, everything was always going to be the self, right? Because I ain't got no money at that time, right? Right? So read, right? You know, I don't like to make generalizations and stuff like that, but are all writers readers? Because I've never met a writer that wasn't a reader, or a reader that wasn't a writer in some kind of degree or aspect. Because I'm a reader and I'm a writer. Even if it's just like, you know, you can be really good at note taking. You know, don't think that, oh, it has to always be creative writing. You can be excellent at note taking, paraphrasing, instructions. I know people that are like, I get confused between the left brain and right brain aspect of the what they can do, even though I know what both can do. I just don't know which one does what. Whatever. What was I saying? Take a moment here to digest, let out, all that I receive all at once. To bring me back to what the fudge I was saying. Seriously. You know what would be a nice feature on this? A little mini playback that I can know what the fudge I was saying so I can see, but if that's going to be too complex and stuff like that, for me to do, I need it to be so simple, like playback last 15 seconds to regroup and get what it is that you were saying. Like, thank you. So I can know. Right? That would be helpful. Right? I was saying so many things. Oh, yeah. Language, right? Duh. So, I started the coaching stuff in junior high school for free. But it's not, it's even energy exchange. And my assessments grew into high school. That by the time I reached like junior year in high school, I had 2 friends that wanted me to help them with it. Eager. So I was excited about that because, hello, somebody wants to do it. Because up until that point, it was always me chasing the person I wanted to try to do these things. And it was never successful, right? Because I was like, you should do this. And so it seemed bossy. It seemed like I'm imposing. It seemed like I was a know-it-all. You know, all these things I've heard and felt and received from people, you know, and saying I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm not like making this shit up. So whatever the case may be. Right, so now I'm in high school and I had 2 friends interested. They were the cause to me learning the boundaries that need to be created when we do this game. I called it a game, I didn't call it coaching. It's my STFU game, right? That amongst other kind of things and stuff like that that go with the detailing of that, right? And it was challenging. And so, you know, as a scientist of my own kind, right? We theorize and make assessments based on our findings and see, you know, commonality between groups of individuals. And it truly does take a rare individual to go the extra mile. Because it, for whatever conditioned perception of a reason, it's so easy to simply fall back into the behavioral pattern that one is conditioned to do, and their environment supports that for them. And because they're comforted by their environment that supports the toxicity that they're trying to free themselves from, it's to laugh, you know? And what's a common ground where no matter what your belief systems are, okay, where people self-sabotage the most is in their mind. We become what we think about. And think about the people that speak positivity, but it's that false positivity. I'll give you examples. Okay, because we really need to learn, discern, because when you learn, you earn. That's it. How you want to go about and doing it in your own detailing, that's on you. I have had people in my life and they still try. I have, even this year, have lost friendships from years because they chose to go down a more Christ like church path, and now I become something evil that they cannot associate with. But if we get to the root of that, because now, you know, when I see what they're been up to now as of lately, they're doing everything like me. So the animosity that was felt was because instead of being supportive and happy, right, for your friend, you were secretly putting yourself in a competition or comparing and contrasting, and then used your religion as your immediate opportunity to show your true colors. Don't false projectile vomit onto me, right? We can see things for as they are, as for our learning tools and experience, right? Because false positivity. Spreading love and light, but then feeling sad, lonely, upset, disappointed inside. So how that becomes self-sabotage, okay, is you're speaking all this positivity. It's helpful. There's a mixed crowd here. These are timeless messages. I like knowledge because it gives me the opportunity to apply its knowledge in my own life, which becomes an applied science, right? Providing me with the opportunity to be knowledgeable and successful in that knowledge. A lot of false positives from people lack gratitude. And how you can identify quickly any lack of gratitude immediately is by going to your real emotion. I don't give a fudge what you say on the outside. How you feel in the inside will determine every ounce of reality for you. So it's like seeking, craving, desiring, love, feeling lonely without it, incomplete. But believing in love, that it can happen and all this kind of stuff for you. Do you not see the contradictory vibration, energy, and frequency working together? I think not. This is why my STFU game is a handy tool for you to apply in your life so that you may learn through STFUing during pivotal opportunities and moments in your life that will feel like a challenge that requires you to STFU immediately before you further inflict damage and toxic and self-sabotage behaviors out into your own environment. Doesn't make it easy. Nobody said it was easy. But you gotta do the work. And so false positives that are tied to complaining, feeling the opposite of what it is that you crave and desire, and staying in that feeling. Because it could be somebody that says, okay, I do want love in my life. And they're accepting that in divine right timing when they meet the one, they believe in the one and all this kind of stuff, but they're not hung up on it. They're living their life. They're not at home crying about it. Saying, oh, no one loves me. They're not doing any of that. So they're not self-sabotaging their opportunity to receive that by their lack of gratitude. Because they know what they want, they're clear on that, right? I want that in my life. Right? So in the video, The Strangest Secret on Bossy Brujas page, right? I just wrote down certain quotes that they were saying that was just, helpful reminders about this evolutionary game we got going on here. We become what we think about. So you can say whatever you want. You know what I mean? It's like getting a but anyway, so we become what we think about. So on this channel, when you dive in, we explore these kind of concepts. It's evolutionary, right? So a man's life becomes what he thinks of it. So you can say, oh, I want this, but you then feel like you don't have it. Like, life is always hard for me. Like, every time, why does it have to be easy? Why is it easy for that person and not for me? Why? I don't even like to talk like that. It was just for exampling purposes. I don't radiate that energy in any kind of way at all. I'm so thankful. I am grateful. And that's my starting statement, closing statement. That is my feeling, that is my know, that is my grow, that is my show. And I found artistic ways to express my triggers, my moments of being a brat that I gotta get checked. We all have it. And that's just the way it is. So it's embracing our whole as we are and not being so hard on ourselves about the stuff either. You know what I mean? We become what we think about. So solar eclipse is on my birthday. 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 Right? The laws of the universe. I don't know why I wrote laws of universally. I literally wrote that. I must have been in some, I don't know, I just scribbled. If you think in negative terms, you will, right? If you think in negative terms, you will receive negative results, right? I don't know what I wrote there, I just wrote something. And if you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results, right? So you want something, you're clear on that. So speak only positively of that. And if you can't speak positively and feel that positive, then don't speak it. Because what you're really doing, okay, that although you speak the positive, you are energizing your energy into the spell words, spelling that you are casting out into your atmosphere, stratosphere, etheric field, life experience, the complete mother fudging opposite of that of which you speak it. So STFU until you can speak it, that in which is going to bring it to you, that of which you desire, in truth and alchemy, period. So you have to get to a lot of your universal truths within yourself about certain things and your energy relationship to those attitudes that you keep in your mindset before you speak it, your reality, into existence. It's a tough cookie. I know. It's a tough cookie. I didn't write down the quote in the Bible, but I did write down the Bible verse that was referenced in the video. Mark 9:23. All about positivity and knowing your truth. You see. And understanding it to your best capabilities. Knowing that as you evolve, so will your evolution. Right? A man's life, a woman's life, a human's life becomes what he or she, they or he, there, we, thinks of it. So that's what I help with. So a lot of my videos will be about tips and tricks of alchemy to help you master your own alchemy. And then one-on-one services, like, you know, with me, they range from all over because everybody's individualized. But at the root of it all is to help you get into your master alchemy energy. I inner train you. This is inner trainment for your inner attainment. And entertainment purposes. I only though help now people that want to help themselves. No longer do I chase the people like, come here, I can help you. No. But you know, we still have things that we have to learn. It's a learning maker. And we each bring a unique ingredient to the mixing pot of life that we're all in, although separate and individualized. The whole, where the drip of the drop of the drip of the drop of the drip of the drip of the drip, 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 drop, drop, drip, drip, drop, drop, drip, drip, drop, drop. So, get clear. Solar eclipse, I hear, about your goals. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I'm looking. Hold on one second. Hi. So yeah, so solar eclipse. Got some cards out. But give with gratitude and grace. Turkey spirit. Many people celebrated Indigenous Day or Thanksgiving. It's just funny that turkey popped up. Life is speeding up. Right? So solar eclipse time is a good time for you to be clear from your soul about what are your goals. A rebirth is assured. And your attitude about them. Because for up until this point, your attitude has been part of your behavioral pattern and conditioning. And it's one of the most complex to transform because it requires us to really go in. So, with that being said, my eyes are freaking me out. Not freaking me out, but anyways, because I'm here too. It's interesting. To take a time out from this before the solar eclipse comes, to really let spirit be your guide. Because sweet results await. Right? So people are like, what's the missing ingredient? Your fucking attitude. Respectfully. Missing ingredient, your attitude. So check your emotions. Embrace the in-between. Embrace, believe in yourself. Embrace the in-between. Travel in between. It's you. Magic works through you. Magic works through you. Allow for you to see clearly now. And apply the science of your knowledge and put it into consciousness application. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge only becomes wisdom when you apply it. Just the way it is. You could be smart and never apply it. Be generous of spirit. Tend to the small things. Thank you. Okay. Give with gratitude and grace to yourself first. That's one of the applied knowledge practices that are happening now for so many, to get into that state of gear of application, to know themselves a lot more deeper, in a sense of, oh my, it is very vital for my survival to tend to my own domain. Selfish is not, but selfish I am. I must be. I have to. If I'm not right, the world is not right. The world may not be right, but I can make it better. Right? Turn knowledge into wisdom. Love is all around. You can focus on the lack thereof of love, or you can focus on the abundance of it. It's time to let go, though, that which does not serve you. Be peace. Be loyal to what you love. Sometimes life can sting, but Spirit has a plan. Okay? Open to infinite possibilities. I am an evolutionist, spiritualist, solutionist. I am open to infinite possibilities. When life stings, I feel inspired. My only time now, no, my only time is now for anything and everything. My only time is now. That's what counts. Now. Now. Truth transcends illusion. Transformation. 4 for foundation. 22. Right? 4. 4 is all about firm foundations. 3, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Right? 8. Be a life path 8 too. That's me. Spirit has a plan. Watch and wait. 5, 6, 7, 8, 53. 8. 8, 8, 8. Changes in your financial. Changes in finances. The wheel turns into an infinite stream of opportunity that presents itself to you in every kind of way. When one door closes, a million, a billion open. And you, I, get to choose that in which we desire to do. Our upliftment comes from truth. Knowing I am divinely led, guided, and protected. Now is a lucky time. I embrace now. I use my mind wisely. Right? Beautiful. I believe in myself. I know Spirit has a plan. I trust in all divine detours. I am in divine alignment. I am in my divine truth. I am loyal to what I love. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, so be loyal to what you love. Be generous of spirit. That's what I was saying before too, right? About you know, if you can grasp even just a little bit of understanding towards your sensitivities, your heightened sensitivities, being able to feel at such a profound level in whichever degree you feel on. Everybody's different. Where you are within is where your focus of feel will be on out. It's like, for me, sadness, I can identify quickly in another, or I have traveled there to know and to see what it looks like, to recognize it upon its energy, right? So whatever we focus on, too, is always a choice. And if we can act as if, okay, act as if this trigger of a behavior, pattern, conditioning that you are becoming awakened to in consciousness is your golden door opportunity to apply knowledge into applied science that you can only activate by taking inspired action to create the shift. That the fuel for that shift is your energy, and that comes with the act behind your delivery that matches the action, energy, frequency, vibration, which delivers mastery alchemy, whether you can grasp that or not. Right? In these videos, I speak how I want. When I have to talk one-on-one with so many people, part of my again, like I said, etymology, horror, linguistics, I'm just passionate about communication and expression and the many ways you can express yourself, you know, that I speak in the language and that you need me to speak to you on, for you to understand. On my videos, I speak the way I speak. That's that. Unless I go live and you ask a question and I am articulating it for audience reception, that's a different story. But in these videos, you grasp whatever it is going to be for you. And I am centered in that truth of knowing that what is for you cannot miss you. Get what I'm saying? You see clearly now. I see clearly now. And I act as if. And if I can't act as if, I stay in Switzerland, knowing that I will make my move when I am in divine alchemy to make my move, because I co-create with spirit, right? Transformation is beautiful. All right, there's 3 more cards and then I'm gonna go. But this is fun. So solar eclipse energies are going to be majorly intense. Wouldn't it be nice if when these energies that are already intensify, that they're magnifying your truth that is clear to you in every way that you have set now forth for yourself, activating, and that the intensifying energies will help support your revolution of evolution, that which you create for yourself, with clarity, with knowledge, and applied wisdom to your knowledge, that success is imminent. Is that word apply? Have I used that word before? It's inevitable. I like that one. It's inevitable. Yeah. For many, you got to get over the stinging of life that you hold on to too tight. So I keep hearing, I'm like, why does this keep coming up? I'm not a dweller. Not true. We all have our obsessions, right? But yeah, it has to start anew. Like, the adjustment to your attitude about how life stings you needs to be addressed. Or what you feel deprived of, or what you feel jealous of towards others. Those would be your triggers to help you see into the reality of your infinite well of that can expand if you just allow yourself to go a little bit more deeper inside your own lands to really understand your position as to what your emotions are telling you. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but whatever, deal with it, or keep feeling this way. Right? From time to time, you'll have your burst of highs, and then all of a sudden you're dropping low because you never tended to the wound. Time for a deep dive. What the fuck? Time for a deep fucking dive, okay? Into that what stings you, to that what disappoints you, to that which doesn't feel fulfilled, to that which makes you compare and contrast yourself to somebody else, which makes you a little less optimistic about your own positioning, your own future, your own stance, and all this kind of stuff. Your position on your thoughts about how you are received and all this kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's speeding up. Shit is about to pop off energetically. Wherever you are on the spectrum of the wheel of this evolution, for real, you're gonna feel the intensities for real. Slow and steady wins the race, right? It's not a fucking race. But, you know, just the wisdom that comes from that. 6, 7, 8, 62, another 8, 8. 8 is infinite. 8 is great. 8 is the last of the Mohicans. I don't know what. I don't know, but whatever. Right? It's time to collaborate. There are new things coming in, new opportunities too, for you to do something more new. But do you believe in magic? And I hope you do, because you always find a clown wearing big red shoes. 5, change. Let spirit be your guide in every kind of way. Time to navigate. There may be a passing. It doesn't apply to all. Set healthy boundaries. Act as if, right? Okay. It starts repeating. I don't. You are never alone. Right? All right. So, anyways, thank you so much. It's time to heal. Snake spirit, shed your skin and allow the rebirth to take place here on these lands. It's infusing a lot of things that are going on in our inner landscapes. We're each going to all be on our different like positioning. This applies, you know, to all of us in every kind of degree, depending on our own individualized leveling of wherever that is. You know, it's not a hierarchy system. It's just wherever you are on your evolutionary journey, and that's going to be different from everybody else. You become what you think about. So curb your enthusiasm. Curb your thought, yo. Extract it. Put it to the side. Write down the sentence that be happening in your mind. Let me dissectify and see what's happening here. Bless you. Let me extract the thought that I catch. Let me bring it down onto pen and paper and see. I want to understand this extraction for my own personalized satisfaction, right? Because I understand that as I think it, so it shall be it. We become what we think about. Let me make sure this is really what I want to be thinking about. Find your relation to even your inspiration. If you have a goal and you have a plan, so your thoughts about that goal and plan have a good attitude. Because it's like, I hear a lot of people with goals and plans talking about these big goals and plans. And then if you ask them in their present day land, I'm broke. Life's so hard. Well, my job or my family, would you believe? Oh, nobody supports me. Oh, this, that, this, that, this. But it be dominant, right? Sometimes people ask me a question that make me have to give a direct answer into my assessment of that question. But prior to them asking that question, I never made that assessment to that thing because, again, I think differently and stuff. And so there have been times that because I say it with such, I guess, what someone will say, strong conviction based off of my whatever it is I'm saying, I have been made to feel bad for having given an observation of something that I'll say. They're like, oh, why do you have to say it in that way? You asked me a question. This is my answer. This is my response that I'm entitled to, right? Other than that, up until you asking the question, it was never no thing, right? So ask yourself these questions that might trigger you. But the deeper dive you take into getting to your emotional attitude, state of understanding, your inner standing, right? You could have a big dream of buying a house, right? You want to buy a house. Then in your now mistake moments, everything about buying a house, all the thoughts that come up, write them down on paper. And then the question to ask yourself after writing these things down on paper is, what is my attitude about that written on the paper? Write that down. And then you can break that down into smaller parts too, because you want to get to the root of a lot of things too. Where does this emotion come from? Right? What makes me feel this way? If you want to understand it. But that's a whole psychological ball game that a lot of people are like, whoa, that's a lot of work. That's what I was saying before. About one thing that I have learned in the course of time, up until that time in high school, where I had 2 willing candidate people wanting me to train their brain with the STFU game, right? Hold them accountable for their words and help them formulate the structure that is needed for them to say, activate, if they are going to have to say these things, right? Right. And so, bring a gentle touch. Bring a gentle touch to every situation, right? So let's say you don't, so one of the common things that I was saying about that, an assessment that I made, and it's just an assessment that I made, the only reason that it's not successful for the people is because after a certain point, they, like what someone was saying, like religion backslide, like they don't keep up with the actions that are required of them to create the consistency needed with what they're trying to transform for themselves. Now, I have responses and solutions for that too, but that's a deeper session of another kind of thing to do. But that's why then it would be advisable, if you wanted further guidance into that, where you can have it structured for you with your, hold on. Okay, so I have to hurry, speed this up. So what was I saying? So yeah, so the most common ground for a lot of it is lack thereof of discipline, right? And making the transformations, but there are solutions for that too. You just have to want it. So let's say you don't want to go so deep sea dive, but that doesn't mean that you still can't apply the science to, oh, I gotta sneeze, the breakdown of it. We'll talk more about that stuff too. But ooh, I gotta sneeze. Okay, so I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And until next time.